Welcome back here to Racing at Woodbine Mohawk Park, live here on a Tuesday night. Nice 10-pack that we have this evening, highlighted by our Pure Ivory final that'll take place later on in the program. But I'm not just alone here tonight. I'm alongside my co-host, the Hall of Famer, Randy Waples. And speaking of Hall of Fame, I think the Hall of Fame ceremony is going to be tomorrow, but I almost forgot. Thank God for the reminding email from Standardbred Canada. Otherwise, I would have shown up next week, and I would have been the only one there.
Oh, no.
So yeah, I completely forgot it was tomorrow night.
I'm guessing that you're in attendance tomorrow.
I will be in attendance tomorrow, yeah.
Oh, good,
so always
cool.
good to listen to the speeches and see everybody, their current and obviously former Hall of Famers who get in. I guess it's kind of a camaraderie thing, I guess, right? I mean, once you get in, a lot of people likely just to show up and show support to the rest of the inductees.
Yeah, I think that's basically, the way to look at it or whatever. And they always have it on a nice day. Is it in Mississauga?
Yep.
Yeah, it always seems like it hits it on a nice day. And we got John Bax going in.
Yep.
Who else do we have going in from here? Bax.
We have
people-wise.
Ken Oakes is getting in.
Right, Ken Oakes, yeah.
The late Ken Oakes.
Who else now? Oh, anyway.
I really should know this, but I'm drawing a blank. My mind's been a little bit fuzzy lately, but...
Who was that, Luke? Yankee Paco.
That's right.
There you go. Yeah, Yankee Paco. That was a big buzz when he won the Hambletonian back then. Boy, I'll tell you, there wasn't too many. I think that he was probably the first horse up this way in my time to go down. I mean, years ago, the Armstrongs won the Hambletonian with a horse called Helicopter, I think the horse's name was. But he was the first one from Canada that I seen went down there, and it's on a Balanced Image too. Balanced Image was just kind of starting to get going in the breeding shed, and he certainly didn't hurt things when winning the Hambletonian under an unbelievable Trevor Ritchie drive. You ever get a chance, watch that one there. He's parked every step of the mile. Really, really good drive.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun night tomorrow, obviously emotional for a bunch of people. I was there a couple of years ago when Christopher got in. That was a fun night. And obviously, like the Thoroughbred, there's the Thoroughbred inductees as well. And yeah, just a really fun night, really emotional for good reason, right? I mean, it's a big night for many people.
Yeah, what it is, it's a room full of people that are all there for the same reason, horse racing.
Yep.
They're all horse fans, and they're all there for that reason. So it's nice. It's a very nice time.
Wonder if I'll see your dad there tomorrow night again. I know I got a chance to see him over at the Meadowlands. He seems like he had a pretty good time. He was there signing autographs as well, a part of the tent with some alumni, with some current drivers. He seemed like he really enjoyed himself, though.
He spent a lot of time down there.
Yeah.
He went there, I think the first year he was there was maybe 76, 77, where he was actually sending a few horses down. And then Jonathan Drury's dad, Barry Drury, and JD's mom, Patty, they took my dad's horses to New Jersey for years, 10, 12 years maybe. And then when Pee-wee Barry left, went on his own, then Jonathan's mother, Patty, she ran my dad's whole outfit for 2 or 3 years.
Sounds like
very good horse racing family there.
Yeah, sounds like something they would do, though, because they're always willing to lend a hand.
Oh, yeah, the greatest family. Yeah, for
and
sure.
obviously Chad was he's back. He was hiding from the paparazzi, though. Chad was.
I seen him at the back of the winter circle. I picked him out. I found him.
Doesn't like to be seen, but he was just there. You couldn't even recognize him. Looked like a superstar there.
Yeah,
Shades
I thought
on.
that they'd maybe bring him upstairs and make him call a race.
I think he just wanted to enjoy the
ambiance of the Hambo Day.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
can't blame him there whatsoever. All right, we're going to touch on some track plays from last night on the Monday night program. Again, I'm already forgetting about how it played, so I'm curious to see this graphic if it does pop up here. But there it is. Still the same as it usually has been, Randy. You got to be first and fourth all throughout the half, and that's kind of the way it played out throughout the course of the night.
Yeah, it doesn't really change up much, but we've said it all along. The reason is because the track is incredibly fast right now, and when Chris Jr. was in here on Saturday night, I asked him the same question about this stat, and he said the same thing. Like, the track is a little bit firm for his liking. It makes it very, very fast, and how do you catch fast? Fast can't catch fast.
I think we're going to see a lot of favorites kind of being close to the action tonight, because it does look like a lot of races are going to be particularly chalky. I just think that there's a couple horses that kind of stand out on class, and I think we're going to see a similar chart Thursday night when we look back at it.
Yeah, I agree with you. A lot of young horses tonight. We got the Pure Ivory as well. There's a lot of horses, no OSS stake races, a lot of horses getting ready for the OSS stake races, but I think that they're in a position because they've already raced stake competition and now they're racing out of a maiden tonight. They're in good shape. I think that these are going to be playable horses, you know?
Absolutely, and we're going to dig in and look at some of these races tonight now and dig in on the replays that we have to offer, and we're going to go all the way. We're going to start off with race number 1, I should say, and we're going to show a replay from a horse who we both thought raced pretty well here in his career debut. And that'll be, not career debut, I should say, his first time in a maiden, and that'll be Cattle Drive. And we're going to look at his effort, one that you liked last time out from the 10-hole. The trip never worked out, but I tell you what, he certainly raced good.
He did. Raced really, really well. This is going to be first start. Scott McEnany came out of the Ronnie Burke stable, and I thought it was a good one. He had the 9-hole to work with, but has been getting away towards the back. But both of those starts were golds, you know? And I mean, how much do you want to leave first start or even second start, when you're in against them golds? So I think that there's a little bit of gate speed, enough that he can hold his own position, but here he's going to come on the outside for driver Trevor Henry and Scotty Mack. And you can see him. He's a big fella out of the 10-hole. He's coming. Look at the body language on Trevor. He's getting what he's getting. He's going to be third no matter how you look at it, and that's where he's going to end up, or third or fourth, I guess. He isn't going to get any much more than that. Comes the last quarter in 27 flat. Obviously a third quarter in 28 flat. Big back half in 55 seconds. I just don't see. There's a couple of nice horses in here, John, like the Chow for Now. I think he's got a lot to offer, but he's scratched right now. And Never Leave Harlan hasn't won a race yet, but been very, very close, you know. But I just don't see anybody that kind of stokes me up the same way as what I seen with Cattle Drive last week.
I agree. 55 flat back half again. He just really had no chance from the word go. We look at that graphic from Track Plays. Really tough to win from where he was, but I think he's sitting on an even better effort now that he's got a much better draw to work with, and I think he's going to be the one that everybody's going to be chasing in this spot.
Yeah, I agree, and I didn't pay that much attention to him his last race, so when I geared up the replay, I was even more impressed, not by what he did, like on the lines or the quarters or the speed that he put together. It's how he looked out there. He's just a big, imposing brute of a horse, and I think that the wars, he's going to win a lot of them, so I'm really looking forward to Cattle Drive tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't a factor in those golds, but we've got some nice colts so far this year, and maybe build your confidence up, and maybe you can be a bit of a factor the next time that you participate or compete against the likes of some of those top ones that we have. And speaking of gold colts, we're going to move on race number 2 and get a look at another gold colt, and that's going to be the 7-horse Red Land Rocket Man. He didn't hit the board in his most recent try at the gold level, but I was really impressed with that effort last time out nonetheless, and it appears you were as well. You submitted his replay, and he's going to be 1-5, 1-9 in this spot, deservedly so, and I think he's going to be tough to beat.
Another horse had the 9-hole in his last start with the gold, I mean, what do? You got two choices. Either you can bomb him out of there and pray to God that you're going to find a spot, or, you can do what they decided to do with this guy, and that's, move him to the back, hope that the fraction set up in your favor, and they never really did. They were only at the half and 55 and change, go mile 51. They didn't really slow down for this guy, but he still ends up picking up a lot of ground. And he's also going to get a blind to open bridle tonight. They're going to take the blind bridle off, and they're going to sew a set of opens on him tonight. Short field to work with, has a devastating kick, this kind of a horse. So obviously going to be tough in here, and you can see him right now with Louis coming hard on the end of it, but just way, way out of position. But we have 2 replays to show in here, John. The other replay that I'd like to show is the 3-horse Twinbee Stanley, because this is another horse that I think is sitting up on a big effort. Now, Redland Rocket, man, easily win his grassroots, but you just seen the gold. Good race, but still out of position, maybe cost him. This guy, I think, is racing some good, but just remember, these are grassroots kind of horses that Stanley's in against here. But this start here, James McDonald going to be driving him, and he's going to end up finishing 5th in here. But it's not because he doesn't have go. You can see James right now. He's knifing with him, coming down through, and there's going to be just a little bit of separation here, and James starts to start him through, and he comes through again. He stops, starts through. The week before that, he was a winner. Nice trip there, multiple moves for James and fellows. So I'm going to throw him in for second. Redland Rocket Man be my top pick. And Jasper Hill, You know, I really think that, you know, Tom Hill has kind of slid into this year in a very quiet sort of a manner with a couple of real nice horses, this being one of them. The other one that we watched last night win the gold,
yep,
Cher Hill.
yep.
And, you know, what I mean by he's just kind of flying under the radar, neither one of these horses are flashy, but they're getting the job done. Like, kind of like when you interviewed Dougie last night and he said, like, you know, she does what she needs to do to get the job done. And, you know, I mean, that's the kind of horses that you want, not to be too flashy, just get the job done. And I think that's what we're looking at with Jasper Hill and the filly last night.
You're going to need to find more speed, though, to get to beat the likes of Redland Rocket Man, because it looks like he's got some gears. And again, was just out position last time, bad post. But the bridle change tonight, he did look a little bit aggressive in post parade. I know that he still got away towards the back of the pack, but is this a bridle change that you're making to maybe keep a horse a little bit more calm?
Yeah, I would have to think too. And just from a driver's standpoint, if I ever went out there with a horse like this, cold, the way that Louis had to pick him up last week, and he was grabbing on pretty good in the post parade, you know what I mean? I wouldn't let him come out of there either, because you are going to teach him a bad habit. If you let him decide what he's going to do behind the gate, you know, you're looking at a steep slope after that. So I think that even though it didn't work out for them financially, I think it was the best thing that they could do at that moment. And like you said, good eye on you for picking it up, that he was a little hot in the post parade last week. Best thing to do, let's worry about it this week. So they're going to make that bridle change, open him up a little bit, and hopefully he's a little bit, you know, a little bit more manageable out there.
To your point, maybe you didn't pick up a big load of money, but you come back with a horse who's razor sharp. Right, and you have to be encouraged.
Teach them something.
Teach them something. You have to be encouraged at what they can do at that gold level, because he showed that he's a gold level colt after his win at Grand River and a win at in the grassroots try, and that was a really, really nice try there on July 19th in a gold. So there's our look at race number 2 in a field of grassroots starters. Going to be tough to beat Redland Rocket Man, as we mentioned, but we are going to go to race number 3. We're going to switch gates here to the trot. 5-year-olds and youngers, non-winners of 1. We've got a field of 8 here, and there's a couple of rivals in here that you and I are both fans of. We're going to go different directions, but we both agree on a horse, a filly by the name of Time Emerald, who put forth a nice effort in her most recent. Actually, her last 3 tries have been strong. So why don't we cue up that replay and you can tell us what you saw?
Okay, where are you going in this race?
I went to Time Emerald.
Well, then you talk it, and then I'll tell you what if there's something that I missed. But let's take a look at this replay on Time Emerald, because both of us thought it was obviously a good effort. I'm putting her in for second. I'm looking to try to maybe beat her with the 8 horse. You tell us what you saw.
Yeah, you know, there was they were going some pretty slow panels though in this effort, so I wasn't sure. I was curious to see if Travis was going to elect to go first up with this filly. He opted not to, and at that point, you know, you're going to get a tough trip. It's going to be tough sliding from that point on, but you figure his win chances were going to be very, very slim. But I like the way this filly kind of rallied in amongst them, Randy, and she showed some go. She was moving forward at the end of it, the same way she was moving forward late in the mile 2 starts back. So yeah, maybe the trip scenario didn't work out to many people's likings, but I tell you what, again, you come back with a really sharp filly with an improved post position, and you're hoping for better luck this time out.
Yeah, I completely agree with you too. And the big thing is like, just like you said, it was, again, sharp eye on your part there. There was nothing for fractions last week, so she was going to trot basically a flat effort, right? The week before in the Prospect, same track, they get down to the half in 56, and she finishes 4th, only beating a length and a half. More or less the same kind of fractions, though. To me, that's the big thing with her. She's always going to be coming on the end of it. And if you happen to catch a race where they go a little bit too much to the half, who's going to capitalize? I say Time Emerald. So good pick. I think a horse that's just kind of coming into it. Grace's Secret, I threw her in for 3rd. I see Garnett's got her up on top. Another one, you know, getting real close to that win. 11 starts this year, 5 times on the ticket, but 0 in the win colony. Did you use her at all?
I used her underneath. Just tough for me to consider a win candidate. But to your point, she could work out a good trip and get the job done. But you went to the far outside, though. 8-way roller. We're getting a driver change. This is going to be another opportunity for James McDonald to sit behind this 3-year-old gelded son of Muscle Mass. And he's been inching closer. And we've seen James McDonald. He's hopping aboard horses and finding the line first. So this is another great opportunity on a horse that's going to have who's going to take play, but a horse that's inching closer.
Yeah, I think that the big thing with 8-way roller is that he made my watch list there, and then he kind of disappeared. Now he's back here again. But if you look at the bottom line on him, John, Bert Renault drives him. He goes off at 66-1 in a maiden, finishes 4th, and obviously not a bad line, 27-3 on the end of it. Very next week, Burt Renault back in the bike, but look at the difference in the bet. This time off on favorite status. Everybody loved that start. He tries multiple moves to get to the front, half in 57. I think it was just a little bit too much, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, it didn't work out. And the next start is a grassroots. James does pick up the drive. Again, not a whole lot happens there, but then goes to Grand River. And what I like about him is they're racing him now. No, like they're making him work. And I think by bringing him back here, with still fitting a maiden, picking up McDonald again, I think he's got a good chance in here.
He already got a win under his belt a few starts back, so he's got that confidence booster in him. So he's going to have every opportunity here for James McDonald to have him find the winner's circle yet again. And this is a more manageable spot than what he took on in a couple maidens at the bottom lines, right? Outbound Train, The Time Machine, Solo CP, Call Me Parker.
Nice bunch.
Horses that would figure highly in here, right?
Yeah, that's kind of the way I looked at it too.
Yeah, all right. So we're going to move on from race number 3 and move over to race number 5. And this closes out the early pick 5. And we've got a scratch of the 3-horse Could Be King. We are going to be scratched down to a field of 9. One horse in particular you were so excited to watch make his third career start, and that was the 5-horse Better Script. He was a 6 scratch last time out. He's back in to go here after close to a month away from action. I'm assuming you went back to him tonight.
I did,
okay.
But I mean, is that the logical move? Because who I got, I'm really trying to beat the 9-horse in here.
Windor, yeah.
I think that Windor's in a better spot right now than Better Script, you know what I mean? Because I don't really know if Better Script is a gold colt. I certainly know that Windor is a gold
Certainly
colt.
Raced like one, though. Better Script, right, didn't he? I mean, it was a great effort. I don't know if we're going to queue up that replay, though. Yes, we are.
Yeah. We're going to show this one. And like I said, I mean, and not only you and I have been looking forward to this guy coming back. Who keeps sticking with him? James,
yeah.
And what I kind of like, where it doesn't bother me with the missed time off is, okay, so Jason Ackroyd down as trainer, but I know that Jason is also either working or is at the barn with Murray Breather, and Breather has an unbelievably nice racetrack there. He can get a good fast mile. He's got lots of horses that he can train with. They can have this guy ready to go first kind of an asking, but Windor's going to be tough. I think that James does not want to be going to the back like this time. He's going to have to stay close, at least a little bit close. But look at this guy. Look at the motion this guy's got on the end of it. My goodness, can he ever throw down? And when you see the run out on him, I mean, look at the go on this guy. And he's out in the middle of the track and never throws a step in. And I just think he's a really, really nice colt. Really looking forward to him. But, I just hope that I'm not kind of jumping the gun by 1 week. But let's face it, John, if he comes up with any kind of a good effort tonight, you'll never get a price on him next week.
No, I think this is the time to maybe try and take a shot with him. Like, to your point, if he races good tonight, you're going to get no price next week. So better to try and hope that he's tight enough to go and beat the likes of Windor, who didn't compete in that Battle of Waterloo, but is coming off a couple of sharp tries in the gold. And again, look at who he's been finishing behind. Bojangles until the cows come home. So this Mike Vanderkamp trainee, this is his spot. Outside draw or not, Dougie's going to be aggressive with him, you have to figure, and he's going to be the one to beat. But Better Script, hard not to respect that 26 flat final quarter on your first time on the big track. I mean, that was ultra impressive. It looked even more impressive, too.
It does. He's fast. He is really fast.
And to your point, James McDonald sticking with him. Last time out over a few rivals.
And a few good rivals.
A few good ones. I mean, this is not the same group as last week, even though there is one rival that really stands out in Windor. But James McDonald having all the confidence in the world to go back to this colt. So we're looking forward to this race as we close out the early pick 5. We're going to move on to race 8. And this captures this is our big, our main event, I guess, Pure Ivory final for 2-year-old trotting fillies. But before we touch on this, we're going to figure on some driver changes. All of Tyler Jones's drives are going to be picked up by Billy Davis tonight. So Billy Davis picking up all of Tyler Jones's drives, as you will see on graphic there. So yeah, good. Billy Davis picking up some more work tonight.
Good for Billy Davis. Keep him busy.
That's exactly. And race number 8 now, we're going to look at this Pure Ivory final after we get a look at the graphics. And again, there's one filly in particular, Randy, that we're really excited to watch compete again. I know they skipped out on leg 2 last week, and that being the homebred of Al Libfeld, Matt Back's trainee by the name of One Bell. She's been uber impressive through her first 2 tries.
I'm hugely confident going in here tonight, John, but I'm not as confident as I was last week. So we got 2 replays to show in this race. Which one are we showing first? One Bell, Luke? Okay, so One Bell. Let's take a look at this unbeaten, daughter of Walner here. I I think that this one is extremely special. And she's going to be my top pick in here tonight. But I'm telling you, after last week, there was another one that popped up on my radar, and I'm going to put her in for second in against this girl. I'm still going to go with this girl. I really, really like what I'm seeing here. This daughter of Wallner. What about yourself, John?
Yeah, tough for me to go against One Bell. I wish I saw a little bit, not that it was a bad effort, but I was really considering maybe going with the likes of Shimmering Hanover if she put forth a dominant performance last week. She got picked off, but again, it wasn't a bad effort. It just got out-sprinted by another rival who I think we're going to be looking at momentarily.
Oh, this is it. Okay, so now we're going to take the other division of the Pure Ivory last week, and I mean, you know, the first two times they raced Wish Upon a Star Day, look, I finally got that name right. They raced her in front, and she raced good the first time, she raced good the second time, but the second time, to me, she showed weakness. This time, Tyler elects to put her in on Shimmering Hanover's back, who both of us really liked last week. I don't remember if I had Shimmering Hanover on top, I know that, but him bringing her off this horse's back just shows me a completely different ability of Wish Upon a Star Dale. She's no longer looking a little weak on the end of it. Now she looks extremely strong on the end of it. She wins the post position draw between her and One Bell. My guess is that One Bell is going to be covering Wish Upon a Star Dale up. And, you know, that's why I wanted to show you this replay. Don't really know if you would want Wish Upon a Star Dale on your back, or even, you know, that close to you. You know, really going to be an interesting kind of a race here. Shimmering Hanover threw her in for third. She could also come up with a big effort. Callie X, I used her in on the bottom. I still think that she's also coming along at a good way as well. But the one that and Aura of Athena, she shows making a break last week, but I think that was just the rail, John.
Okay.
I think I'd toss that one. This is a tough filly, this Aura of Athena. But the one, to me, that is making really, really big gains, but I just don't know if it's going to be enough this week, is the 5-horse, Sister Scarlet, for the team of Etzel and Mario Bergeron, going to be driving tonight. But this one here, I think, is really starting to get a lot stronger each and every week. I don't look her at her as a win candidate, but I do look her at her as being good enough to hit the ticket.
Yeah, I completely agree there. I think that's a filly I was intrigued to watch in her career debut. And again, to your point, just some tough fillies in this group. But it's funny because Wish Upon a Star Deo coming off 3 straight wins, and she's going to get ignored in the betting once again because One Bell is going to be overwhelming in the win pool.
Yeah, that's the way I see it as well.
But we're looking at a good one, we think, if she can keep it
You
going.
went 8-4?
I went 8-3. I went
8-3.
back to Shimmering Hanover to get a good piece of it, but lots of respect for that Susie Kerwood trainee. I think I should especially have extra respect after last week. I was talking down her chances as a win candidate, and she was able to put forth a good effort, but worked out a great trip. But she did really respond to it as well.
She knew what to do with that great
absolutely,
trip.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
and if he does the same thing tonight, that's the part that scares me.
Yep.
You know, we've never seen anybody stay close to One Bell.
Yeah, so there's race number 8 for our Pure Ivory final there for the 2-year-old trotting fillies, and we're going to move on to race number 10, and this is our finale here this evening. 5-year-olds and youngers, non-winners of 1. We've got a field of 10 in this spot. I found this to be such a tricky race to handicap. You're going to opt to go to the 3-horse Twin Bee Alliance. A few changes here made for this guy tonight, and tell us a little bit more about why you are going to give him the go in the finale.
Well, I liked him when he came out back in December. I mean, that first start, and back in December the 21st, it was a good one. He finished second in there to Redland Wrangler, you know, Admiral Deo in there for third. Then his next start, same kind of a thing, you know, comes up with another good effort, and then he shuts down. I don't see him again for a while. Now he shows a couple of qualifiers, and the last qualifier, not a bad effort. Now he's going to come out after one start back, which again, not a bad effort. And, you know, in this qualifier that we're looking at now, you know, I don't remember if you were working here during when this horse, My Ultimate Snowy, this thing come up with a huge effort. And this is the horse that he's racing against in here. He's not going to be able to get the job done against My Ultimate Snowy. But this My Ultimate Snowy, like I said, he is racing good. And this guy right now, he looks like a bleeder. He looks like a horse that should be able to go by, but he's saying, I'm not doing it, because he's not going to push himself over the edge. So going on to the Lasix program, they're going to go from steel to aluminum in front. So that's a much faster shoe that he's he's getting tonight, you know, and they're going to add a Murphy blind on the right-hand side of him tonight as well. But the first start Lasix to me is the big thing. Now, John, you know me. I mean, I'm a big second start Lasix kind of guy. But every once in a while, you got to pull the horns in, because on either Friday or Saturday night, we had 2 horses win first start Lasix. One was Yoda Queen, the other Kyle's Art. And, you know, if this guy here has had a fast mile into him, you know, with Lasix or you know, he's even just, you know, some kind of a training where he's had the Lasix, or maybe even he's so close that the first start Lasix, like those other 2 horses, is going to be enough. I'm going to take a chance and go with Twinbee Alliance, hoping that he's going to kind of fly under the radar in this race.
Yeah, I kind of overlooked him in this spot. I think I've got him somewhere on the ticket, but I went to Trooper Hanover in the spot, middle of the gate drop, picking up James McDonald. We've seen James pick up horses and get the job done. I'm hoping that's going to be the case. But Twinbee Alliance, you're talking me into him now. A lot of changes and a lot of positive ones here. And you know what? There's less strikes on him as maybe some other rivals.
Yeah, he hasn't had a lot of opportunities to disappoint us yet.
Exactly. So there's a look at the finale, and one that I think is competitive to close things out. We can't start off the card without the early pick 5, and that's the way we're going to look. Well, that's what we're going to look at right now, and we're going to look at your ticket, Randy. Just one single to kick things off, one that you and I both really like, at what's going to be a short price.
Yeah, obviously, you know, he's just a free square, we hope, right? You know, Chow for now being scratched, that's going to make things a little easier in this first. But the leg 2, I have a lot of difficulty with this one, and it's just because there's such a high quality, high volume of horses in here. So I used all my picks. I used all 4 of them in that one. Race number 3, Time All Emerald and 8-Way Roller in that one. Race number 4, it's going to be Wall Street Bell again, James with Cam McQueen. National Debt, going to throw him in as a part of it too. That 4th race is going to be tough to get through, I think. And the 5th race, a little bit of a better read on here. I think we can narrow it down to Better Script and Windor.
Yeah, I agree with you on that 4th race being tough. I think I went 4 deep.
Yeah, yours here.
I'm just going 3 straight singles to kick things off. I'm going to go Cattle Drive. I'm going to go Redland Rocket Man. And I am going to go all in on Timel Emerald, and hope maybe to separate some value there in that 3rd leg, and then 4x2 to close it out. I think I have the right 2 in race 5. I can't say I have the right 4 in race 4, but I think I feel pretty confident about my bunch. He Swift's the biggest wild card in that race. What version of him are we going to get, Randy?
The 30 claimer?
Yeah.
Or the 8 claimer?
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, he hasn't been... his lines don't look very good, and he hasn't raced very well, right? Especially even at this level. So really just depends which version we're going to get here tonight. If the good one shows up, honestly, you could single him with your eyes closed.
Yeah.
You know?
The only thing I can maybe hopefully narrow it down a little bit for you is the guy that trains him is an incredibly good horseman and an incredibly good groom. I think he's dropping him because he's got no choice in the matter. I mean, he had him in an 8 claimer not that long ago. You know, maybe he raced real good for him in the 8, and that's what kind of started this. You know, maybe I got to reclassify him. I think that they've just said to themselves, you know, now this is what he is, and this is where he's going.
All right, there's a look at that early pick 5. Some thoughts from Randy and I, and we're going to look at the trainer standings that we have throughout the year, the trainer showdown, we like to call it, because it's a pretty tight group. Very
match.
close match that we're going to have, and we're going to look at those stats right now. And there's Dave Maneri leading the way there with 70 wins. Jody Cullen was 68, and Kyle Fellows was 64, but all of them over $1 million, all of them over 1.2 in earnings. So this has been a good start for them. And again, I'm curious to see how this is going to, you know, shape out by the end of the year.
Yeah, and you know the funny part about it too, though, is John, is like, I mean, Maneri's having a good go, but it was earlier in the year when he was really pumping out the wins. You know what I mean? Right now, he's just having a good go. Jody Cullen, same sort of thing. Kyle Fellows, same sort of thing. What happens when they all heat up?
Yep.
Because, you know, the way the barns go, all of a sudden, you know, they're going to start to heat up. And really interesting that it's that close already.
Yeah, Maneri obviously a finalist for the O'Brien Award for Trainer of the Year. And he's building off that finalist effort in what's a pretty strong 2025 campaign. But we expect that from a lot of people here on this graphic here, because they all do an excellent job. So, but yeah, it's going to be a fun year to see how these guys shape out by the end of the year. It's going to be a tight-knit race, so it makes the voting a lot harder, though, I'll tell you that much. Makes the voting a lot harder. We're going to preview some action that comes up later on the weekend. We've got some golds, we've got some other races as well, I believe. There is it both golds that we're previewing, and is there another race that I'm then we've also got some a preferred fillies and mares preferred that we're going to look at as well. So there's the OSS Gold for 2-year-old trotting colts. I think we have 2 divisions of that. So there's a 6 and 6, and there's a look at the first 6, and another great mass for Ed Piccone Jr. getting it done again. Gate speed is valuable, and it proved value on last week.
Another horse, not flashy, but boy, he gets it done. Because if you're looking at flashy, I'd be looking at Strobe Light.
Yep.
That's flashy speed. The other guy, he just gets her done.
And there's the other division here in the black is the morning line favorite. Things didn't work out for him last time out from an outside draw, but just a tough trip, but never really looked comfortable. But
No.
should have gotten a bigger piece given the trip that he worked out, or the horse that he followed, I should say.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like he was just on his game. But
Yep.
you know, of this race, I mean, obviously he's going to be the favorite in here. But the one that I'm interested in is this 5 horse. Boy, has he ever come around big time, this LP Bay.
First class mass.
Another nice one.
What an effort that he put forth from the second tier. He did make a miscue, and he recovered nicely. One that, if I was here Thursday, I would be making him my top selection that night. We're going to look at the When You Wish Upon a Star final for 2-year-old pacing fillies. Jay, she followed up what I thought might have been a susceptible favorite in that effort. She followed it up with a stronger victory, and she's going to be the one to beat.
Yeah, definitely that. But another really nice nice matchup here. Only 7 in there, but you can easily make a case for them all.
I still think Adina Hanover, if she can get a cleaner trip and sit on her back.
You like her?
I do like her.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was a tough trip coming first over, and they weren't going much too. So I think Bobby had the edge there in terms of the tempo and was able to sprint away. But maybe I'll get proven wrong once again.
You know who I think is a sleeper in this race, and a lot of people are going to kind of laugh at me, is Laney Blue.
Okay.
You watch what's going to happen with her in about 2 or 3 weeks' time.
I'll remember that.
Okay.
And fillies and mares preferred. We've got
Any standouts in here, John?
I don't. You tell me. The undefeated filly Chantilly back in action in race 3 on Friday night. She's going to draw the outside. Going to be a tough spot for her to keep her undefeated streak alive. I'll tell you that much. I think she stands out on talent alone. Don't get me wrong. But again, you're a 3-year-old going against older horses with an outside draw. I mean, I think you have. I think there's an opportunity for you to get beat in this spot.
Yeah, very. And I mean, now this is Friday night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wouldn't it have been something now if James had been out of town on a Friday night?
You know what? He does. The Dan Patch is on Friday night though, and Coach Stefanos is out. So I wonder if he's got some decision
Be
making.
a little bit of pressure on somebody else now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get Greek out of retirement.
Exactly.
Chris Jr. there, he can handle it.
Never mind, Greek. What about you?
Yeah, no. I'm too fat.
All right, we're going to look at the Dreammaker final here for 2-year-old pacing colts. And how good was Sweet Love and Lou last time out? I mean, geez, he was really strong. He put forth a nice effort in his debut, but he looked even sharper second time around. So one that is going to be easily the one to beat in that spot, I'd say.
100%. Yeah. Big thing is, you're going to want to be staying close to him as well.
I know we're all talking about Bojangles, and he looks really strong as well. But this is a colt who I think is Metro eligible. And again, if he keeps pumping out pretty good performances, he's one to watch out for as well. Some out-of-town action. The Carl Milstein Memorial Pace taking place at Norfield Park on Saturday night. And I tell you what, this is a really good field. Prince Al Hanover looking to follow up his win in the Adios with a win here at Norfield, and he draws a great post here for this contest.
Yeah, nice bunch that they got in here too, Swingtown from the 6. So what about Rick Wink? Is he racing any better? Didn't he recently go on Lasix or something?
Yeah, he
and
did.
There was a bit of a buzz about him, but really hasn't done anything spectacular.
Wasn't much
yet.
of a factor in the Adios, I'll say that. But Twisted Destiny, obviously, tell you what, Prince Al Hanover was able to slip up the inside and convert off a pocket trip. Twisted Destiny from the second tier, the trip, this might work out in reversal now. Right? There's always action in this race. I mean, this sets up for closers all the time because of how quick they go. Listen, they race there.
Yes.
They race.
Yeah.
The action is great there.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely. No, 100%.
And
No
Smooth
doubt about
Dream
it.
is a son of Cattle Wash. He's actually been perfect so far throughout his sophomore campaign. He hasn't taken on some of the big boys, but this is an opportunity for him to take on some of the top colts that we have in the Glamour Boy division. So a really good opportunity for that Nola Daily trainee. And Twisted Destiny, of course, second tier, and Prince Al Hanover likely going to be, you'd have to figure is going to be the race favorite. But obviously some Swingtown, who's been racing in Ohio a lot, and Rick Wink, good opportunity for them to get a marquee victory. In what I'm excited for that race.
Yeah, no, it's always, like you said, it's an exciting race because they race it they make it exciting.
I'll be out of town, but I'm hoping that they put that race on here during the program as well. I think, look, we got a local hopeful in the race in Prince Al. I think it's a marquee race for 3-year-old pacers. we should be showing that race. I would say. So we're gonna. All right. So we're gonna move on and look at some others. We're gonna look at place of the night. So we wrapped it up. All right, Randy, you're up first.
I'm going to start with Waples Watch in race 2. And that's going to be Redland Rocket Man. Beat the favorite, Mastercraft, from the outside. I used this guy up on top last week, and I was actually surprised because Trevor took him right to the back. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that that's not the case, but even as it was, he still raced good from off there. So, Trevor's smarter than me, but I'm kind of hoping he goes the other way tonight. All in, 1 bell, but that's going to be a tough race. And Worth a Look is going to be Pick a Genre from race number 9.
I knew you'd go to Mastercraft. I think you could start from post 13 and you'd still go with him.
I think I would.
You really liked him last time out as well. So plays of the night, I'm going to go Timel Emerald as my spot play, hoping to work out a better trip there. Rebound, Willow Time.
I like that.
Moves from the rail to the middle of the gate. He's going to have...
And a drop.
Exactly. I think he's going to have a chance to get a big piece there. All in RPK Blinders. Nice confidence boosting mile, but a big mile. I think it was 50 and change in that effort. And my best bet in the last, Trooper Hanover, will be going head-to-head there. Because Twinbee Alliance, so he's going to be, again, one that I think you talked me on a little bit. And speaking of Twinbee Alliance, Kevin Plaucha, seeing what you see as well. But nobody knew about the equipment changes going into the trip. I'll tell you that much. So Twinbee Alliance, a spot play for Kevin Plaucha. Dragons better for Garnet Barnsdale. And hasty bid for Ghislaine. Okay, go. Good opportunity for him too, but we need to see a little bit more, I'd say.
And he's got a tricky post to start the go with the rail. How hard does James want to be on him? He's really protected him the last few starts to get him down into here. Is now tonight all of a sudden going to be a go for broke? I think he can get himself into a good spot, and I think he's going to come up with a big race tonight, but I don't look at him as a win candidate.
All right, there's our thoughts there on this Tuesday night 10-pack. Just a couple minutes away till we kick off this evening's action.